Leaders, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct honor and privilege to join you at the Stakeholders Summit 2026. Over the past 3 days, this hall has been incredible of ideas, a meeting point of minds and gathering of purpose. You have debated, deliberated, challenged, and collaborated. You have asked the hard questions that too many conferences leave unanswered. And today, we arrive at a matter most. What are we going to move? What are we going to do beyond the conference? Let me be direct with you. Africa stands at a crossroad that no generation before ours has faced in quite the same way. We contend with the accelerating effect of the climate change on communities that did not contribute to it. We face the restlessness of the young population, the most youthful on earth, hungry for opportunity, hungry for dignity, and increasingly unwilling to wait. We grapple with the food insecurity that threatens stability, with a public health landscape that tests the resilience of our system every single year. Digital infrastructure is also reaching out into places that were unreachable a decade ago. Artificial intelligence is transforming how we resolve our challenges. And African innovators, African researchers, African social entrepreneurs are producing solutions of remarkable creativity and relevance. The question before us is not whether Africa has the capacity to shape its own future. It does. The question is whether our institutions, our policies, our partnership, our commitments are equally to the moment. Science, research, and innovation are no longer a luxury thing, so to speak. They are not reserved for the wealthy nation. They are necessities for any societies that intends to move forward on its own terms. Africa development challenges are complex. They are interconnected and context-specific. They will not be resolved by imported frameworks. They will not be resolved by solution from somewhere else. We have to think outside the box. We must be able to look at our own challenges and be able to address them. They require an innovation that is not merely technological, but society. What I advocate for, the socialization of science, so that we can be able to have an innovation-led economy. The summit, with the theme of catalyzing change and bridging policy, innovation, and local solution, speaks directly to that imperative. You have been part of building that bridge this week, and I want to encourage you to continue with that collaboration. I want to encourage you to break the silos and build synergies in Kenya, in Africa, and of course, looking at the North-South and the South-South collaboration. Governments will definitely need the civil society. Society will need government. Both need academia. All will require the private sector. So the public-private partnership is equally very, very important. We have to be able to think outside the box. The partnership forged in this room over these 3 days are not just incidental to this summit success. They are its own success. A commitment that made across the table between organizations that have understood each other constraint possibility. It is worth more than a dozen policy documents gathered dust on the shelf. That's why we have to ensure whatever policies are being developed, they will be able to go out there and be able to contribute into addressing the societal issues. You are the proof that Africa does not need to wait for solution to arrive from outside. You've gathered here with the brains that you have, the ideas that you can be able to address all these societal issues. I leave here with one commitment that I would like you also to be able to adhere to it. We must be able to look at the entire innovation pipeline. We must be able to connect the NGOs with the government. This is not an optional. In my opinion, it is essential. Let me close by saying that I am an optimist, so to speak, and I've always been very optimistic that Africa will be able to grow using its own people. We must be able to reverse the brain drain that we have. We must be able to have the brain gain and brain circulation. We must be able to work together because Africa has the talent. Look at this room. Africa has its ideas. You have been presenting all this week, and now Africa needs to walk the talk so that we can be able to leapfrog to the first world status, so to speak. And what Africa needs is really to empower itself and be able to look at the younger generation that will be able to be the co-pilots of the people who are now working in these offices. The Global NGO Stakeholders Summit has created the space for that collaboration to begin and to deepen. So do not let it end when you walk outside this room. I want you to continue with that conversation. I want you to be able to connect the dots. From our side, on behalf of the government and my office of the Principal Secretary in charge of Science, Research and Innovation, we're very committed to be able to work very closely with you. I take this opportunity also to congratulate the Secretariat of the Global NGO Stakeholders Summit and the chairperson for convening a platform that is of quality and ambition. I'm also very honored to endorse the Global NGO Stakeholders Summit Action Pact. And I call upon every institution that is represented here to be able to do the same with full intention, full commitment to what comes next. Africa future is not something that will happen to us. It is something that we will build together. I wish you all a very fruitful day, and I thank you for your attention, and I'm looking forward to engaging you in the very near future also. Thank you.